Welcome to the most colorful and creative village in the world, where every house is a different color and all the rooftops are covered with rainbow flowers. This is where our story begins. In the center of the village, there was a quaint little house surrounded by a lush green garden full of vegetables. Inside lived a kind old lady named Alara, who was known throughout the village for her beautiful flower dresses. Every day she would wake up early in the morning to take care of her garden, and then spend her day sewing and creating stunning flower dresses that were loved by everyone in the village. One day, Elara's granddaughter, a curious and energetic girl named Mina, came to visit. Mina loved spending time with her grandmother, helping her water the plants and learning how to sew. But today, while exploring her grandmother's house, Mina stumbled upon a wooden sewing box hidden under a pile of colorful fabrics. When she opened the box, she found all sorts of fascinating things, like spools of thread in every color imaginable, shiny buttons, and even a pair of magical scissors that could cut fabric perfectly without needing to be sharpened. But what truly caught her eye was a single golden thread hidden at the bottom of the box. It was unlike any thread Mina had ever seen before, shimmering and glowing softly in the light. Intrigued, Mina picked up the thread, but as soon as her fingers brushed against it, the room suddenly filled with a bright light, and when it faded away, Mina found herself inside a whimsical forest filled with talking animals and magical creatures. Startled but excited, Mina realized that this incredible world existed within the golden thread. As she tugged on it, the thread glowed brightly once again, whisking her away on fantastical adventures through time. Each night before bed, Mina would pull on the thread and find herself in a different story. She watched as a brave rabbit led a lost fox back to his den, even though they had never met before. She saw a tiny field mouse help a baby bird that had fallen out of its nest, and she witnessed a playful squirrel gather nuts for a hungry owl during the winter. With each story, the golden thread grew brighter and warmer, enveloping Mina in its glow and filling her heart with joy. As the days went by, Mina eagerly awaited her nightly adventures with the golden thread. She learned valuable lessons about friendship, kindness, and bravery, realizing that even the smallest creatures could be heroes. But she couldn't understand why her grandmother had left such a magical heirloom behind. So one day, after a particularly exciting adventure, she decided to ask her grandmother directly. "Grandma, why did you leave me this amazing golden thread? And why does it show me all these incredible stories?" Alara smiled knowingly and said, "This, my dear Mina, is no ordinary thread. It is a thread of wisdom, an ancient artifact passed down through generations of women in our family. It carries the stories of our ancestors and the lessons they learned, waiting for someone worthy to unravel them." "But why me, Grandma? What makes me worthy?" Mina asked, puzzled. Alara took both of Mina's hands in hers and said, "You have a kind and curious heart, Mina. You always ask questions and you're eager to learn from those around you. The thread of wisdom will continue to share its stories with you, guiding and teaching you as you grow. It's a gift, Mina, and a reminder that wisdom is a treasure to be cherished." Touched by her grandmother's words, Mina hugged her tightly. She realized that the thread of wisdom wasn't just a magical toy. It was a connection to her family's past and a source of knowledge and inspiration. That night, As Mina snuggled into her bed, she pulled on the golden thread. As usual, the room filled with a warm glow, transporting her to another enchanting story. This time she found herself on a winding path leading through a mystical forest. The trees were tall and proud, their branches reaching towards the sky like the arms of ancient giants. The air was filled with the sound of birdsong and the gentle rustling of leaves, and Mina felt a deep sense of peace and tranquility wash over her. Suddenly, she noticed a group of animals gathered around a clearing, and their worried chatter caught her attention. There was a young deer with a torn leg, a wise old owl with ruffled feathers, and a playful squirrel with a trembling tail. They were all gathered around a large rock, and Mina couldn't help but wonder what had happened. As she approached, the animals noticed her and quickly explained their dilemma. "We need to move this large rock, but we don't have the strength to do it alone," said the wise old owl. "If we can move it, we can create a clear path through the forest, making it easier for everyone to travel," added the playful squirrel. Mina knew she had to help, so she gathered some vines and ropes from nearby bushes and devised a plan. She instructed the animals to tie one end of the rope to the rock and the other end to a sturdy tree. Then she told them to pull on the rope together, just like a team. At first, the rock didn't budge, but the animals didn't give up. They pulled and pushed, their determination growing with each attempt. And finally, with a great heave, they managed to move the rock. Overjoyed, the animals cheered and thanked Mina for her help. "You may be small, young one, but your wisdom and bravery have helped us all," said the wise old owl, his eyes twinkling with admiration. "Together, we can accomplish anything," replied Mina, beaming with pride. As the sun began to set, casting long shadows across the forest floor, Mina knew it was time to return home. She bid farewell to the grateful animals and stepped back into the comforting glow of the golden thread. Back in her room, Mina pondered the lessons she had learned that night. She realized that even though she was small, she could make a big difference in the world. And she understood that true strength came not from physical power, but from courage, kindness, and the wisdom to use her abilities to help others. With renewed determination, Mina tucked the golden thread under her pillow, ready for her next adventure. She couldn't wait to see what other valuable lessons and inspiring stories the thread of wisdom had in store for her. And so each night before bed, Mina would pull on the golden thread, embarking on new journeys filled with wonder and discovery. She learned about honesty from a tiny field mouse who kept his promises, patience from a wise old turtle who taught her to take her time, and gratitude from a cheerful sunflower who appreciated the warmth of the sun. Through these magical experiences, Mina's heart grew bigger and her spirit soared higher. She became known throughout the village as a kind and compassionate young girl, always ready to lend a helping hand to those in need. Her friends and neighbors admired her wisdom and maturity, often seeking her advice and support. As the years went by, Mina treasured the lessons she learned from the thread of wisdom. She carried them with her through life, guiding her decisions and shaping her into a remarkable young woman. And whenever she felt lost or uncertain, she knew that all she had to do was pull on the golden thread, and the stories within would remind her of the values and principles that had brought her so much happiness and fulfillment. And so the magical adventures of Mina and the thread of wisdom continued, weaving a tapestry of love, laughter, and learning that inspired everyone in the village and beyond. The end.